host computer at the moment looks like this. What we can modify here is probably the calibration settings, where we select 9-point calibration. We do not modify anything in the advanced settings so far. We can just make sure that the acquisition rate is 1000 Hz, which is good. The illumination level is high. We will try to acquire both eyes. And there are two modes. Either head stabilized, which is possible to do. If you install this head support on the desk. But the other option is to use the target stickers, which look like this. They're in the box, sent together with the equipment, and a sticker, which is like this, is placed just on the forehead of the subject. As you can see, the eye tracker is pretty good to detect the location of the sticker, and here it can identify the distance from the sticker. So, how do we calibrate? This is the most critical moment, and we will try to follow the procedure. First of all, you create the file so that all the data are stored. I'll try to combine two videos from the host computer and from the display computer. So we call it 2020-09-28. Oh, it's too long. Just 20-09-28_1. And for the moment we don't save keyboard or mouse events, and this file will be saved in the documents. We don't need to change anything else. We just run camera setup. And we see this beautiful gray screen, which will allow us to control what eye tracker shows, both from the side of the host computer and from the display computer. We click C. No, before the calibration, we want to make sure that both eyes are well identified and the image is in focus. You can switch between different screens with left and right arrow keys on the display computer, like this. Left, right eye, the whole screen, and the sticker. The contrast is pretty high, although it can be a bit adjusted. On the contrary, the eyes are not perfectly detected, so you can use a mouse to adjust the position of the search area. So now, even if you shift the position of the head a little bit, the eyes will be well tracked. Also, the distance, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, d equal to 530 something millimeters. This is the distance. And it's better that the distance is not changed a lot during the experiment, unless otherwise you can lose all the data. So now everything looks more or less fine, and we can switch to the calibration procedure. Oops. Press C. And now what you have to do is to follow with your gaze the target which is shown on the screen of the display computer. In order to save each calibration point, you can press Enter either on one computer or on the other. As far as we can see, the structure of the fixation points is well organized, and we can proceed with the validation. We press Escape. This gives us this screen. Now we press V, and we repeat the same. The procedure is the same, but now the host computer shows us whether the points correspond well or not. The correspondence is absolutely poor in this case, so we have to repeat the whole calibration procedure. Why this happens? Possibly because the subject, who is myself at the moment, moved too much in between of the calibration and the validation procedures. So let's check the position. Everything looks fine. So we go to calibration. And now to validation. Now the results are much better. So we press accept on the host computer. The calibration and validation can be started also from the host computer. It's a bit difficult when you are an operator and the subject at the same time. But that's it. At this moment, you can start your experiment. Of course, if you have a well-prepared and well-designed experimental paradigm, which allows you to synchronize the events which happen at the display computer and are presented to the subjects, and the time course of the gaze position and the pupil size recorded by the eye tracker. I will explain you how to do it with MATLAB. It is not going to be very complicated.